You know that feeling when you walk into a salon and everything just flows? The music is right, the lighting is perfect, the stylist is on time, and the client leaves looking like $1,000,000. It feels like magic.
It does. It feels effortless.
Exactly. But anyone who actually works in the beauty industry knows that effortless is usually the result of a massive amount of effort, planning, and systems working in the background.
That is the absolute truth. The duck gliding on the water is paddling frantically underneath.
Right. And I feel like that same logic applies perfectly to what we are discussing today. We are diving into Module 8 of the Social Media Management for Beauty Salons course. And honestly, this is the part where the magic of social media gets demystified. We're talking about analytics, scheduling, and automation.
This is the turning point. Up until now, in previous modules, we've talked about the creative side, building the brand, making pretty content, connecting with the community. That's the art. But today is about the science. It's about efficiency.
And I think for a lot of salon owners, this is the scary part, or maybe the boring part. Because when you hear words like analytics or data, you don't exactly jump for joy. You think about spreadsheets and math.
I get that, but let me reframe it. Success on social media isn't about working longer hours. It's not about grinding until you burn out. It's about working smarter. And you can't work smarter if you're just guessing.
Guessing is exhausting.
It is. Imagine if you colored a client's hair without looking at their hair history or checking the porosity. You're just guessing and hoping it turns out okay. That's what posting without analytics is like.
That is a terrifying image. So let's start there. Let's talk about analytics. The course material describes it as taking the guesswork out. What does that actually look like for a salon owner?
So analytics essentially give you evidence. It's real data that tells you what is working, what isn't, and where you should actually spend your limited energy. Instead of throwing spaghetti at the wall, you're looking at a report card. You can see which posts your audience loves, what time they are actually online, and crucially, which promotions are actually leading to bookings.
That last part is key, because likes are nice, but bookings pay the rent.
Exactly. And the course highlights a few specific metrics that matter. We aren't just looking at vanity numbers here. We're looking at engagement rate, reach, impressions, follower growth, click-throughs, and conversions.
Let's break those down a bit, because I think people confuse reach and impressions all the time.
It's a common confusion. Think of it this way. Reach is the number of unique people who saw your post. If 5 distinct people see your photo, your reach is 5. Impressions, on the other hand, is the total number of times the content was displayed. So if one of those people looked at your photo 3 times because they loved the hairstyle, your impressions go up, but your reach stays the same.
Got it. So reach is the width of your audience, and impressions is the volume of visibility.
Precisely. And then you have engagement rate. This is probably the most important one for building a community. It measures how much people are interacting, likes, comments, saves. High engagement means you aren't just posting into the void, you are connecting emotionally.
Which is what beauty is all about. Emotional connection.
100%. If people are saving your posts, maybe saving a photo of a balayage to show their own stylist later, that is a huge signal to the algorithm and to you that your content is valuable.
And then we have the money metrics, click-throughs and conversions.
The bottom line, click-throughs tell you how many people actually tapped that link in your bio. Conversions tell you how many of those clicks turned into a booking, an inquiry, or a product sale. You need to track patterns here. Do educational posts drive more bookings, or do before and after transformation videos drive more bookings?
You have to play detective.
You do. You have to look for patterns. Maybe you realize that every time you post a behind-the-scenes video on a Tuesday evening, your DMs blow up. That is data. That is gold. You use that to shape your future strategy so you aren't wasting time creating content nobody cares about.
Speaking of wasting time, or rather saving time, let's pivot to the tools. because you can't track this stuff with a pen and paper.
No, and you shouldn't try. The course mentions some heavy hitters here. Meta Business Suite is the standard for Facebook and Instagram. It gives you incredible detailed insights. TikTok and YouTube have their own dashboards. And if you want to see how social media is driving traffic to your actual website, Google Analytics is the way to go.
And for those who want it all in one place,
tools like Later, Canva, or Buffer are fantastic. They provide these visual reports that summarize everything clearly. You don't need to be a data scientist. You just need to check these reports weekly or monthly. Stay informed, adjust the plan, and keep moving.
Okay, so we know what to post because the data told us. Now we have to actually post it. And this brings us to the second pillar of this module, scheduling.
Consistency is key. We hear it all the time. But let's be real, for a salon owner who is standing behind a chair for 8 hours a day, posting daily in real time is impossible. It's overwhelming.
It's the Sunday scaries, but every single day. You finish a client, you're tired, and then you remember, oh no, I haven't posted on Instagram today.
And that panic leads to bad content. This is where scheduling saves your life. The concept is simple. Batch create your posts. Sit down for 1 or 2 hours, maybe on a Monday when the salon is quiet, and plan the entire week.
It's like meal prepping, but for your business.
That is the perfect analogy. You cook everything on Sunday so you aren't scrambling to make dinner on Wednesday night. When you schedule your content using tools like Meta Business Suite, Later, or Hootsuite, you free up your brain. You can be fully present with your clients during the week because you know your marketing is running on autopilot.
That peace of mind is invaluable. But is there a best time to schedule these posts for?
The honest answer, it depends on your specific audience. But generally speaking, the data shows that Facebook does well in the early afternoon. Instagram tends to peak in the evenings. Think about when people are winding down on the couch. And TikTok, it's a morning and evening game.
But again, check your own analytics. Your clients might be night owls.
Exactly. Review your insights. If your followers are active at 9 p.m., schedule your post for 9 p.m. You don't have to be awake to hit publish.
That's the beauty of the system. Now, I want to touch on the third pillar, which I think is the most controversial one in our industry, automation.
Ah, yes, the robots are taking over.
Right. There is this fear that if you automate things, you lose the personal touch. And beauty is an incredibly personal, intimate industry. How do we reconcile that?
It's a valid fear, but it's a misunderstanding of what automation is for. Automation isn't there to replace you. It's there to support you. It handles the repetitive, low-value tasks so you can focus on the high-value human connection.
So what should we be automating?
Things like post-publishing, obviously, but also simple email marketing tasks, appointment reminders. That's a huge one. Follow-up emails after a visit asking for a review, or setting up an away message on your DMs for after hours.
That away message is crucial for setting boundaries.
It is. It lets the client know you care, but that you're also a human being who sleeps. But, and this is a big but, you should never automate the actual conversation.
Right. If someone leaves a heartfelt comment on your post about how much they love their new look, you cannot have a bot reply with a generic thanks. Check out our link in bio.
That is the fastest way to kill your brand. Authentic, human connection cannot be replaced. You need to handle direct client conversations, specific questions, and reviews personally. Automation buys you the time to do that properly.
So the robot carries the luggage, but you greet the guest.
I love that, yes. The robot carries the luggage.
So let's try to wrap this into a practical package. The course outlines a weekly workflow. Because all this theory is great, but salon owners need a schedule. What does a stress-free social media week look like?
It's about structure. Here is the suggested workflow. Monday is for planning. You sit down, you look at your calendar, and you schedule your posts for the week. Done.
Monday is the heavy lifting.
right? Then Tuesday, you focus on engagement, respond to comments, reply to stories, build those relationships. Wednesday, take a look at your analytics. Just a quick check, maybe try a new idea based on what you see.
Keeps it fresh.
Thursday, share a story or a behind the scenes update, something raw and unpolished. And Friday, review the week. Take notes on what worked best.
I like that. It feels manageable. It's not do everything every day, it's do one specific thing each day.
Exactly. It keeps you in control. You aren't reacting to social media anymore. You're acting with intention. And that allows you to be creative without the stress.
And ultimately, that data from the review on Friday informs the plan for the next Monday.
It's a cycle, a positive feedback loop. Your analytics become your strategy. You start asking yourself better questions. Which caption drove the most bookings? Why did that video go viral? You use that knowledge to refine your approach every single month.
It really does sound like maturing as a business owner. You move from being an artist who hopes people notice to a strategist who knows how to get noticed.
And the beautiful thing is, you don't lose the artistry. You actually protect it. By building this structure, you protect your creative energy.
That brings us back to the core theme of this module, balance.
Balance is everything. Automation and scheduling are tools for efficiency, but authenticity drives connection. Beauty is emotional. It's relational. Systems help you stay organized, but you must never lose the personal touch. Reply to the messages. Thank your clients. Be human.
The systems are just the scaffolding. The building is still made of people.
Perfectly said.
So, to recap for our listeners who are maybe taking notes or driving to the salon right now, analytics are your eyes. They help you see what's happening. Scheduling is your time machine. It lets you be in two places at once. And automation is your assistant. It handles the busy work.
But you are the heart of the brand.
And if you can combine that creativity with this structure, you have a sustainable strategy. You aren't just doing social media, you're growing a business.
And that sets us up perfectly for what's coming next.
It does. We've covered the pieces of the puzzle. We've done branding, content, ads, EWADs, and now the systems. In the next module, Module 9, we are going to bring it all together.
Bringing it all together, strategy and growth. We're going to learn how to create a complete long-term social media strategy that combines everything we've learned into one cohesive plan.
I can't wait for that. It feels like we are reaching the summit of the mountain.
We are getting there. But for now, take a look at your numbers, set up your scheduler, and take a breath. You've got this.
Thanks for listening, everyone. See you in Module 9.
See you then.